You know, I have to admit, the heartland of this country is pretty beautiful. Cornfields, rolling hills, beautiful skies. Which is good, because I just drove through about 500 miles of it to get to this place. Kind of nice in itself, right? Why don't we go check it out? So while this is a Franciscan parish, it's a Franciscan parish from another province. So I've actually never been here before. Why don't we go take a look? I know it's very old, and I hear it's very beautiful, but I've never actually been inside. Yeah, it is very old, and it is very, very beautiful. One of the best features of this church are the beautiful statues of the saints surrounding us, reminding us that the saints are with us in prayer. And while they're all wonderful works of art, and I love that they're here, we do have a problem. You see, and I don't mean to alarm you, but we have an imposter. We start over here, and we've got St. Coletta, Franciscan. We've got St. Peter, Franciscan. St. Margaret of Cortona, Franciscan. I've been to her grave. We've got St. Elizabeth, Franciscan. On this side, St. John, Franciscan. St. Louis, Franciscan. St. Clare, obviously Franciscan. St. Leonard, one of the early Franciscans, great saint. And then we've got this imposter here. Someone wearing white. Who let him into the party? Silly Dominicans. So I have to admit that generally this is not my style of church. The very old, the ornate ones, I usually find them to be kind of stuffy, kind of dark, don't really facilitate prayer for me. But there's something about this. I don't know if it's the windows, if it's the saints, if it's the beautiful organ. I don't know, it just seems like a wonderful place to worship, and I can't wait to get started. I just hope that they turn on the air conditioning before then, because I'm already sweating and I'm not even wearing vestments yet. So, you know, I'm on this whirlwind tour across the country helping people discern, helping people become better disciples of Christ. And I've been telling people now for 4 weeks that there is no one answer from God. There's no one thing that God desires. But I'm realizing that I might have been wrong on that. And I'm thinking about changing up my mission now. Because this is now the second place I've been to that has a 6:30 a.m. Sunday Mass, and clearly we're doing something wrong because, you know, as I've said, Jesus had a Last Supper, not a Last Breakfast, and ain't nobody want to be up this early. So now my new mission is to change all the Masses to make sure that the first one does not happen before 8 a.m., and I think that's a worthwhile cause, right? Because I don't want to be up right now. But oh well, that is my mission. Until now, I will be up. I'll be serving, and today is going to be a long day. 6:30, 8, 9:30, 11 o'clock. I'm going to be like a hockey goalie. I think I'm going to lose 10 pounds today. High 80s, very humid, lots of vestments on, so at least I'll look good afterwards, you know, all that water weight will be gone. All right, we are 2 Masses down. It's about 9 o'clock now. I got 2 more to go. I have divested because it is really, really hot, and I've got 30 minutes to kind of cool off before I go again. But more importantly, they're having pancakes because everybody loves pancakes, but these are special pancakes. These are red, white, and blue pancakes, and these people are just really, really excited, aren't they? Yes, because it's Independence Day weekend, so why not have red, white, and blue? I think I'm gonna get a few. All right. Now, without completely taking back all my strong opinions from earlier today, I will say there is a nice benefit to starting at 6:30 in the morning, and that's that you can get 6 hours of work in before 12:30. That's pretty amazing. 6:30, 8 o'clock, 9:30, 11 o'clock Mass, working hard, preaching and serving all the Masses, meeting with people, pushing 125 books today, and now I can eat lunch, have a nice glass of water, sit out in the sun, read my Bible. That's not a bad gig. And speaking of Bibles, check out my Frankenstein Bible here. It has certainly seen better days for sure, but you know what? It's got all my notes in it. I've had it forever. I love to read this thing. And frankly, I'd much rather it look like this than looking like I've never opened it up before. I try to read it each and every day, but actually I've just decided that I'm going to commit myself to reading it much more than I normally do. You see, when I was in formation, I would often ask priests for their advice. Now that they're ordained out in the world in active ministry, what do they wish they would have studied more while in seminary? Almost to a T, they say the exact same thing. They wish they had a better command of Scripture. This is definitely a priority of mine, especially for preaching, which is why I set a goal last week that before my ordination, a little bit less than a year from today, I want to have read the entire Bible. Now, it seems like a daunting task. It's such a big book. But if you think about it, it's only about 4 or 5 pages a day, and I've done it before. Really, it's the sort of thing that we all can and should do, and maybe you'd like to join me. If so, I'll leave a link in the description for the plan that I'm going to follow this year. So it is now Monday afternoon. I've been doing just a few filming projects, waiting for the talks tonight. Excited to release these next week. But I talk all the time in my book and here on the channel that discernment never ends. That even when you're solemnly refessed, even when you know what you want to do, that there's still room to listen to God and figure out what you're going to do. And I had an experience like this yesterday. You see, one of the friars and I were supposed to go out to dinner last night, but he came down at 5 o'clock saying that he had been called away to an emergency, had to go to the hospital. No problem, canceled plans. But he didn't get home until 11 o'clock that night. That's how long it took. That's how much was asked of him that he hadn't scheduled. And it made me think about what I'm doing. Traveling around, having fun, making videos, and no doubt working. I mean, after I worked in the morning, I worked basically the rest of the day writing and planning videos and even filming some things. But how different it was. Both, I think, are incredibly necessary in the church. That I probably reach a lot more people than he does. But he reaches people at a depth that I absolutely do not. That he gets to spend time with them and get involved with their lives. And there's something about it that's why I got into this life. I didn't get into this life to make videos and to sit behind a computer screen. And it makes me wonder what my future will hold. I'm called to be a pastoral minister, and I think preaching and traveling is a big part of that. But I think there's also a part that he lives that I'm missing. It's kind of interesting. It's a discernment moment that I'll have to think about over the next months or years, where God is calling me to spend my energy. For now, though, I've got plenty to do with my energy, not the least of which is preaching a mission, which, come to think of it, I should probably get back to right now. It's been great being here in Quincy. I'm going to end the video right here, but I'm going to let a few of my friends tell you where we're going to be next.
We're on to Cincinnati. Right now we're preparing for Cincinnati. We're getting ready for Cincinnati. We're getting ready for Cincinnati.